In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the detectors used in fluorimeter. The detectors are compartments which are used to convert the light signals into electrical signals. Here, the light will enter in one pathway, and with the help of electrical signals, we can detect how much amount of light reached the detector. The detectors can be of very types, and the most frequently used detectors are barrier layer cell or photovoltaic cell. This barrier layer cell consists of a layer which is made up of semiconductor material such as selenium, and normally when there is no light radiation, the selenium will not produce its electrons, but when the light radiation reaches the selenium layer, they will emit the electrons, and the electrons will be captured by the electrodes, and the electrodes will get the electrons movement, and the electric current will be produced, which will be recorded as electrical signal, and from that indirectly we can measure how much amount of light radiation reached the detector. And next to barrier layer cell is photoemissive cell. This photoemissive cell also consists of a hollow cathode as well as anode. It consists of two electrodes, and the cathode is coated with metals such as cesium and potassium. And the working principle involved in photo tubes is first one is photo incidence, which means the light radiation that is passed through the sample cell will reach the detector, and this light radiation will first fall on the hollow cathode which is coated with cesium or potassium, and it is a photoemissive surface. After the photon incidence, there will be photoelectric effect, which means the cesium or potassium will emit the photoelectrons as the light hits the cathode. And the third step is electron acceleration. The electrons will be accelerated because the high voltage accelerates the electron towards the anode. And the last step is current generation. After the electron reaches the anode, the potential difference will be generated, that will be measured in the form of current. Then the next detector is photomultiplier tubes. The photomultiplier tube consists of a photocathode and a series of anodes, which are otherwise called as diodes. Here the principle involved is multiplication of electrons by secondary emission. The working principle involved in photo multiplier tube is first step involves a photon hits the photocathode. The photocathode will be located at direct 180 degrees to that of the light radiation that is emitted from the sample cell. And as the light radiation hits the photocathode, the cathode will emit one electron, and after that second step is electron acceleration. Here the electrons are accelerated when the electron reaches the first anode, which is kept at a voltage which is more than that of the cathode. And the third step is electron cascade. So here the series of diodes are situated. So after the electrons from the first anode reaches the second anode, it will accelerate the electron because its potential is kept at a much higher rate when compared to that of the previous one. So here the electrons are accelerated and the electron cascade begins. So there is a secondary emission of electrons. And the last step is signal amplified at anode. So here as the electrons passes through the series of diodes or anodes, the electrons are multiplied to that of 10 to the power of 6 to 10 to the power of 8. So this is a most sensitive detector because even the weak signals can be multiplied to about 200 times when it reaches the detector. Then the next one is silicon photodiode. So silicon photodiode is a frequently used detector which is used in sophisticated instruments. Here the silicon is present in between a cathode and a anode, and as the light radiation falls on it, there will be a generation of electrons and the movement of electrons can be detected. The working principle involved in silicon photodiode is first step is light absorption. So it consists of a p-type silicon and n-type silicon, and in between that there is a depletion region. So incoming photons will fall on the depletion region, and the electron hole pairs will be generated because the electrons from its valence orbital have moved from its orbital to a higher energy level, and so in that place the electron hole pairs are generated. Then after that there will be a charge separation and current flow. So now the electrons are moved to another place. That place will become, that will hold a negative charge, but its electron hole will be positively charged. So that negative electron and the electron hole pair will be separated. And then finally output and measurement. So as there is a difference in distance between this positive electron hole pair and negative electrons, then this movement causes the flow of current, and